More than a half dozen alleged gang members are charged in the shooting deaths of two 13-year-old children and wounding an 11-year-old. Investigators say the deadly shooting of the innocent children stemmed from a bitter gang rivalry. Channel 2's Tom Regan joining us now live in Southwest Atlanta, where that shooting happened last July. Tom.
Yeah, Karen, as you can remember, the shooting of these three children shocked and saddened this entire community. Atlanta police vowed to track down those responsible, and after an investigation that spanned many months and included wiretapping, they made these arrests.
These individuals that we have shown indiscriminately opened fire on that apartment complex, resulting in these three children getting injured and killed.
Police say the 7 men arrested are gang members who were in the midst of a turf rivalry when they shot and killed two 13-year-old children, including Lamont Freeman, as they celebrated his birthday July 2nd.
The overall theme of this case is grown men playing gangster that left 2 of our children in graves and a community in fear.
Investigators say the gang rivalry that led up to the shooting was sparked by an Atlanta-based rapper.
Decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings.
We obtained the arrest warrant. It states the string of homicides started with a shooting and a little baby rap video. Investigators say the gunfire that resulted in the children's deaths was a gang retaliation orchestrated by phone by someone behind bars.
There was a hit called by a high-ranking gang member on the opposite side of that opposing rapper's gang. And I'll tell you today, that gang was Goodfellas.
Some who live in the neighborhood welcome news of the arrest, but doubt it'll stop gang violence.
Shooting is not a problem. It's the people that come into the community that doesn't reside here. But, I mean, it's messed up what's going on.
The Atlanta office of the FBI assisted APD in this lengthy and very complicated investigation. We're told that 5 of those who were arrested were already in jail on other charges. Live in Southwest Atlanta, Tom Regan, Channel 2 Action News.
At least on top of this, Tom Regan, thank you.
Now, in the previous video, we went ahead and exposed a snitcher already. They got 17 years. But in this video, one of the things that happened, you know what? I don't even want to ruin it. Check this out. All right. Markus Crawford, come to the head of the table, please. So what we're going to do is look at a couple things, right? And already you can tell from May 14th, 2024. So he's already in there. You know what I mean? Already in there with an open case, okay? So here's what he was in there previously, because I wanted to go look at his freaking previous charges, because this is how they built their RICO, by the way. If you don't know, they go through and they look at all your charges, and then they deem you to have participated in criminal enterprise based upon the things in which you've done. So the last video that we're going to do, we're going to delve into Lil Baby's criminal history and see if it all lines up, unfortunately. So here you go. Markus Crawford, theft by receiving stolen property. That's a felony. Theft by receiving stolen property, twice in a misdemeanor. Then here's where it gets kind of weird, right? And mind you, this happened in February 12, 2023. Possession of firearm or a knife, I'm going to assume during the commission of a felony. Possession of tools for commission, and that's a felony form as well. Now, I'm going to assume it's a knife because based off the knife stuff, it just is what it is. So here you go. Disposition events, all right? Here's where it gets kind of wild. And this is just for the possession of firearm or knife during commission. Dismissal for warrant of prosecution. Now, let's understand what that is, right? A dismissal for warrant of prosecution means the court has dropped a legal case because the plaintiff or the state, the party filing the lawsuit, has failed to actively pursue the case within a reasonable time frame, essentially not taking necessary steps to move the case forward, leading to the case being dismissed due to inactivity, often occurring when the plaintiff/state misses court hearings or fail to respond to requests for information, which probably means they overcharged them. So then there's this thing called key points about dismissal for warrant of prosecution. The plaintiff is considered to have abandoned this case by not actively pursuing it. To me, that just means, hey, charges got dropped right there because they basically did that. Not present to grand jury, or not present to grand jury. So the knife in the possession of tools for commission of a crime. So it more than freaking likely, he just had a knife on him at the time, and they probably came back and the person said, yeah, he didn't pull no knife out on me. He just stole it. So more than likely that's what happened. So I don't find any suspicion there. I don't want to put smut where it ain't. I don't, in my Nina Boy voice, I don't want to put paint where it ain't. So there you go for that one. All right. He got the bond order and all that stuff and everything like that, right? So this is just his last stuff, right? An unindicted complex case. It's a case management hearing, bond and plea arraignment calendar. So basically they were working on a plea in November 3rd, 2024. So understand that, all right? So non-complex scheduling order. Then here you go. Final plea, they're working on that December 23rd, 2024. All right, that's pretty, pretty soon. So while all of this crap is going on and they're building their case, right? The death was present, defendant received notice of next court date, ADA Dilligard and Attorney Lane. So here you go. 3/3/2025. This is where it gets real odd body. Because that's when they're supposed to have their final plea, which is tomorrow. I wonder what is going to happen because something else had happened as well. And I want y'all to pay very close attention to it.
Hey, yo, can you subscribe and turn on that bell too? Because when you do, you're helping unbiased independent news.
Oh, this right here is where I call it scary hours. And don't worry, we got a little bit of a way to go. All right. So here you go. Once again, Markus Crawford. So you're looking at basically a bunch of pretrial stuff that's about to pop up. And Cuz got a public defender. Now, I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed, right? But I can literally see certain things that other people see. And then we just get to a common ground. He has murder. Unlawful for person employed by or associated. So if you know what this is, the 16-15-4A, right? That right there, in case y'all didn't know, that's the gang stuff right there. We'll break it down a little bit further in the next slide, all right? So what is he looking at? That's what, 5 counts? So 5 counts right there, murder again, aggravated assault, possession. So here you go all over again. Now, they dropped it. Remember what I told you on the last slide? They freaking dropped it, but then they brought it right back. Just a dirty game that the state plays, but somebody got to win, right? So now you have January 16th, 2025 when you pop out, and this is his pre-indictment stuff. So I want y'all to understand something. This is his pre-indictment. A pre-indictment is a time before a grand jury indicts someone for a crime. This phase involves law enforcement investigation and gathering evidence. What happens during a pre-indictment investigation, law enforcement interviews witnesses, law enforcement subpoenas records, law enforcement analyzes evidence, law enforcement monitors electronic communications, and law enforcement sets up undercover surveillance. All right? We ain't making this crap up. If you don't believe me, go ahead and Google it. So then what happens after the pre-indictment investigation, the prosecutor presents the evidence to a grand jury. The grand jury decides whether to issue an indictment. So I want you to understand, once they put the pre-indictment on you, you're under watch. You're under watch, okay? So pre-indictment, they got that literally February 4th right here, but we got a pre-indictment already in freaking January. All right, January 16th. So you have all of these things added with what just happened. I got a theory, but I'm going to run some more stuff to further. So now I had a motion to reset. And then, yeah. So now you're looking at his co-defendants, all right? Them are the co-defendants. These were already co-defendants, might I add. These were already co-defendants. So they're missing a couple of people, right? You don't see Ali Caldwell. You don't see Tredon Crawford. You don't see none of those individuals. You don't see Keontae Sanders. So if we go and we look and we go back to the arrest of the 7, the rest of the 7 goes like this. Keontae Sanders, Richard Hollis, Reginald Thomas, Dekithia Mobley, Markus Crawford, Tredon Crawford, and Ali Caldwell. Now, I'm going to assume Markus Crawford, who we're talking about, and Tredon Crawford are related. So now we're going. And we're not seeing, and I'm not seeing it at all. Once again, these are already his co-defendants, which to me screams, yeah, we might have involved y'all and put y'all into this, because I have a further suspicion that I think y'all would want to rock with. Check it out.
I'm not going to put his address up for obvious reasons at all, but when you come in with a public defender, it typically don't end well. And I'm only speaking from personal experience because, it is what it is. This right here, the state of Georgia versus Markus Crawford, is pre-indictment. It's January 16, 2025. See what we're seeing right here? All right, cool. Just so we're aware, a pre-indictment is the time before formal charges are filed in a criminal case. During this phase, law enforcement investigates and gathers evidence. What happens during a pre-indictment investigation? Law enforcement interviews witnesses, law enforcement analyzes evidence, law enforcement monitors electronic communications, and law enforcement may set up surveillance. No. Did y'all hear me? They're interviewing witnesses. They're analyzing the evidence. Then law enforcement monitors electronic communications, which means they are now wiretapping you. And not only are they wiretapping you, they are literally watching you. So what happens if the investigation results in an indictment? Of course, grand jury issues an indictment if they find probable cause for crime. An indictment lists the charges against the defendant. The defendant can defend against the charges. What can happen during a pre-indictment court appearance? The prosecutor may offer what? A plea deal. Defendant may be able to have their charges reduced or dismissed. How can a lawyer help during a pre-indictment? A lawyer can help convince the prosecutor to decline to prosecute. A lawyer can help explain misunderstandings. A lawyer can help work out more favorable deals. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. What in the world is this? These are his charges, all right? Conspiracy to commit a felony, then unlawful for a person employed by / associated. Don't worry, we'll break down what that is. Just remember the numbers, 16-15-4A. He got two of them. Criminal attempt to commit a felony, and once again, unlawful for a person employed by / associated. And can you guess what that charge is twice? So, January 16, 2025, County Jail first appearance. Holly Hughes is judicial officer. January 16, 2025, pre-indictment, jail commitment. January 16, 2025, pre-indictment, first court action. Well, first appearance court action, my bad. I messed that up, I don't know. 2024, Code of Georgia Title 16, Crimes and Offenses 16-1-1. We don't need to go right here. We just need to go right here. What do we say? 16-15-4A. It shall be unlawful for any person employed by or associated with a criminal street gang to conduct or participate in criminal gang activity through the commission of any offense enumerated in paragraph 1 of Code Section 16-15-3. So remember, boys and girls, that's what we're looking at is criminal street gang stuff, right? Oh yeah, it gets crazy. It's beyond interesting. Look at the date, February 6, 2025. All right. In the Superior Court of Fulton County, state of Georgia, Markus Crawford, decision of district attorney to decline to prosecute defendant. Comes now. Fonnie T. Willis, district attorney of Atlanta Judicial Circuit, state of Georgia, and shows this honorable court the following. The facts of this case have been reviewed with the arresting officer, and although it appears that probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest, the decision of the district attorney at this time is to not present the above referenced defendant's case to the grand jury. The reason for this decision are as follows. Legal and factual considerations to include, but not necessarily limited to, the issuance of warrants for the above referenced defendant's case on charges related to a July 2nd, 2024 murder that stemmed from the conspiracy that is the subject of the criminal charges in the above captioned complaint. You got to remember what happened on July 2nd. If you don't worry about it. We'll get to that soon. So how is Buddy's name still on there? Because we just got the freaking stuff basically a couple of days ago. We got it like 4 or 5 days ago. It definitely wasn't no doggone February 6th. So how is he still being prosecuted for it after y'all just said that y'all not? Was it a typo? Yeah, if I'm anybody that got anything to do with Marcus, I'm getting away from him. I'm not accusing the man of being a snitch. Maybe he got snitched on. Maybe something happened to where somebody pointed at him. Eventually they had to bring it back. But as far as it stands right now, bruh, he had the murder and stuff charged. Mind you, he already had the co-defendants with him. Am I calling him a snitch? No. But am I saying y'all need to be around him and all that stuff? Hell nah. Because ain't no telling what he told. One of the biggest things that was said was basically the reasoning behind the music video shoot and that these guys were at war and all this stuff. Who gave that intel up? Who gave it up? So that's all I'm thinking about, bro. I'm looking at it in my mind. Hey, bro, it's 3 of us originally, really 4, but it's 3 of us originally, and only you get the murder charge dropped. Now, mind you, that doesn't necessarily make him a snitch because he could 100% have alibi. He could have had a phone that placed him somewhere. Somebody could have been doing something, some surveillance footage from where he was before. That always helps himself out. So he 100% could have got off on it. But your plea deal comes up tomorrow for your prior stuff. So you being charged and then it being dropped and then being charged again, I don't know. What suspicions do y'all have? I'd be curious to read the comments because I ain't gonna hold you. This right here, scary hours. Yeah, man, we just hit 200K. We on our way to 300, man. Subscribe today so you can find out how you can win an Xbox or a PlayStation, man. The details are on the way. This is how you know somebody is literally going to be in the drawing. Robin Minter, check him out, man. All we do is go down and we look and we see his subscriptions. Who does he have? He has Seti Nash right here. What also happens, take that off. Top commenter. That right here, public subscriber. So that's what you got to do and make sure you share each video. And then you'll be entered to win. Shout out to Mike. Good luck. Subscribe, turn that bell, stay notified, and share to keep your people aware. I'll catch you on the next one.